Hey, guys, Mahama have done it again. President John Dramani Mahama of the Republic of Ghana have done it again. Hey, this man will not stop to amaze us. So, I am telling you, his recent speech at the UN Assembly has really scattered everywhere. Mahama know the fear face, so he know the fear face. He don't send anybody. He go there, go show them, say Ghana is a great country. Ghana is a great nation. In fact, Africa is a great continent. Uncle Mahama, our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is not standing only for Ghana, but he's standing for the whole Africa. Man, see speech now, see confidence, see boldness, see courage, see determination. Hey, what manner of man is this Mahama? What manner of man is this Mahama? A man that can stand boldly, face to face with the Western world, speaking the truth and nothing but the truth. He's spreading, he's spreading, he's spreading. Africa is rising up. Africa is rising up. Hey, Mahama, you're making us proud. It's not only Abraham Traoré of Burkina Faso. Mahama is also one of the African countries that have stood up to make Africa a great continent. I'm also so glad to see that the president of Kenya, hey, Ruto, I love this man so much. This is one of our African leaders that have stood up to say no to foreign exploitation, and he's doing very great in Kenya. Guys, before we jump into this video is very interesting. I know that most of you have already seen this speech by President Mahama, but guys, we have to touch some sensitive points that have touched me so much. But before then, let us listen to President of Kenya. Hey, Ruto, you too much. You too much. I'm so proud of these people. I don't know why. President Traoré of Burkina Faso, Mahama, Ruto, the president of Nigeria Republic. I'm so proud of these people. Mali president, I'm so confident of these people. I love you guys. You guys are doing great work, not only for your countries, but also for Africa. I'm so proud of you. Guys, without wasting time, let us see what President Ruto said. This one touched me, I swear.
You cannot claim to be the United Nations while disregarding the voice of 54 nations. It is not possible. Africa is no longer willing to wait on the margins of global governance while decisions about peace, security, and development are made without our understanding, without our perspectives, and without our voice. Africa's exclusion is not only unacceptable, unfair, and grossly unjust, it also undermines the very credibility of the United Nations, this organization. Africa dominates most of the Security Council agenda, provides some of the largest contingents of UN peacekeeping forces, and bears the heaviest costs of instability. Yet we remain the only continent without a permanent seat at the main table where decisions about our destiny are made.
Hey, Enokwa, man, see boldness now. See boldness. Guys, I know that you guys have watched Mahama's speech, but then let us listen to the sensitive part that really triggered me to make this video. Hey, Uncle Mahama, you're too much.
The tables are turning, and Africa's role in the authorship of whatever is yet to come for this world is going to be huge, and it will be consequential. According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, 1/3 of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African. Already today, Africa is a catalyst for human potential and development, as well as for economic reform and ecological stability. Africa is a catalyst for systemic change. If this reality, which is fact-based and straightforward, seems provocative or unsettling, perhaps it's because you are viewing it through the lens of centuries of filters, colonialism and imperialism, and the resulting implicit bias. Maybe you are unaware of the resilience of African nations or their remarkable ability to make a strong comeback just when you think it's safe to count them out. That is what is happening right now in my own country, Ghana.
It takes a courageous leader. It takes a great leader to stand face to face with the Western world to address issues relating to African marginalization. This is wonderful. Mahama, I salute you. Right on, sir.
The UN Founding Charter is outdated when it comes to representation in this August Assembly. The most powerful post-World War II nations are still being rewarded with an almost totalitarian guardianship over the rest of the world. And yet, the first sentence in Chapter 2, Article 1 of the UN Charter declares that the organization is based on the principle of sovereign equality of all its members. If this were true, and was the case, a continent as large as Africa, with its numerous UN member states, would have at least one permanent seat on the Security Council. Furthermore, we believe that veto power should not be restricted to only 5 nations, nor should it be absolute. There must be a mechanism in this House for the General Assembly to challenge a veto. No single nation should be able to exercise an absolute veto to serve its own interests in a dispute. In 1995, during the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, Nelson Mandela stood in this very spot, and he said, "The United Nations has to reassess its role, redefine its profile, and reshape its structures. It should truly reflect the diversity of our universe and ensure equity among the nations in the exercise of power within the system of international relations in general, and the Security Council in particular." I close quotations. 30 years later, we African leaders are still making the same simple request for a permanent seat on the Security Council with the power of a veto. So today, Madam President, I stand here in this exact spot and ask the world, if not now, then when? We demand not only a reform of the Security Council, but also a reset of the global financial architecture, which is currently rigged against Africa. Africa must have a greater say in the world's multilateral financial institutions.
Man, see wisdom speaking. See power speaking, authority. Great son of Ghana.
And while I'm making requests, I'd like to call for the removal of the blockade on Cuba. As Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our nation's founder, famously said, "We seek to be friends with all and enemies to none." The Cuban people shed their blood on African soil in the fight against apartheid. And indeed, Cuba has been and continues to be a faithful friend of Africa. You see, the very fact that I can stand here and ask these things and say these things, and the fact that all nations can ostensibly gather here to address critical global issues, air our grievances, and express our concerns, that is what makes the survival of this organization so important.
Mahama, right on. I dey hear you.
We cannot normalize cruelty. We cannot normalize hatred. We cannot normalize xenophobia and racism. If we're going to tell a story, let's not tell it slant. Let's tell all the truth. When we speak of migrants, we speak of Mami Ewusi Mensah Frimpong, a judge on the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. She's the first black female judge on any of California's 4 federal district courts. She was born here in America to immigrant parents from Ghana. We speak of Peter Bosman, a medical doctor in Ghana who moved to the town of Piran in Slovenia in the 1980s and later became the first black mayor of Piran, the first black mayor in Slovenia and in the whole of Eastern Europe. We speak of T. Michael, the iconic Ghanaian Norwegian artist and designer. And of course, we speak of the late Kofi Annan, former United Nations Secretary General. Former United Nations Secretary General and Nobel Peace Prize recipient, who was born in Ghana but spent his adulthood in various places in America and Europe. These are people who have brought great distinction to the countries that they decided to call home. Just as the migrants and the children of migrants before them did, I dare say these are not invaders. These are not criminals. Madam President, the slave trade must be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity. As the African champion on reparations, Ghana intends to introduce a motion in this August body to that effect. More than 12.5 million Africans were forcibly taken against their will and transported to create wealth for the powerful Western nations. We must demand reparations for the enslavement of our people and the colonization of our land that resulted in the theft of our natural resources, as well as the looting of artifacts and other items of cultural heritage that have yet to be returned in total.
Away! Right on, Mahama, right on, and they hear you loud and clear.
We recognize the value of our land and the value of our lives, as did our colonizers, as well as the governments that happily paid reparations to former slave owners as compensation for the loss of their property, in quotes, and that property for which they received compensation was paid referred to enslaved people who had been freed. Madam President, an increasingly insecure world is witnessing upward spending on defense budgets of bilateral partners and steep cuts in official development assistance. Since July 2024, it is estimated that there's been a 40% drop in humanitarian aid globally. In this era of global uncertainty, Africa must exercise sovereignty over its natural resources to raise the necessary funds to ensure the well-being of its citizens.
See confidence now, see boldness. Mahama, ride on.
The days of parceling out vast concession areas to foreign interests for exploitation must come to an end. We'll continue to welcome foreign investment, but we must negotiate better for a bigger share of the natural resources that belong to us.
Enokwa, man, see boldness now. See boldness, Mahama, ride on, you're too much.
And we must insist on value addition to these resources. We're tired of the continued image of poverty-stricken, disease-ridden rural communities living at the periphery of huge foreign-controlled natural resource concession areas. We're tired of having people extract the most they can from us and in return offer us the very least by way of respect, consideration, and dignity. We're tired of not being represented in ways that reveal the richness and complexity of our history or acknowledge all that we have overcome to arrive here in this liminal space of untold possibilities. Allow me to echo the Indian-American writer Arundhati Roy, who wrote, "Another world is not only possible, she's on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her briefing." I want to add that for the sake of Africa, and quite selfishly for the sake of my 18-year-old daughter, I hope that this new world that is arriving is a place of safety and equality for women and girls. To succeed, we must empower everyone, including women and girls, to reach their full potential. Words matter, but issues of representation matter even more, which is why Ghana looks forward to the appointment of a woman as Secretary General of this organization in the near future.
I am glad to be alive to witness what is happening in Africa. I have watched this speech over and over again. President Mahama, I salute you. I salute you for being this strong man from Africa, from Ghana in particular. Now, Mahama, you don't shock me. Guys, in fact, this is the best speech ever. Mahama, what manner of man is this? It's time for Africa to rise up and say enough is enough. It's time for us to rise up to make Africa great. I'm too proud of you guys. May God continue to bless you guys for standing by the truth. When they talk true now, to all those presidents of Africa that are still bowing down to these people, you guys should follow the trend. Thank you so much, our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for making us proud, making Ghana proud, making Africa proud. We are so proud of you. We are so confident in you. We believe in your ministry. Thank you for standing for Africa. You are not standing only for Ghana, but you are standing as a mouthpiece of African continent. We love you so much, Mahama. We love you, all other presidents of Africa that have stand in this direction of President Mahama to put Africa on the landmap of the world, to make Africa a great continent. I'm proud of you, and I'll continue to be proud of you. Thank you so much, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. May God bless Ghana. May God bless Africa. If this is your first time of coming to this channel, why don't you subscribe to our channel right now? Press notification bell so anytime we post video, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much, and see you on next video. God bless you. Bye.